All right, I decided to make a video of going through the first tutorial. So let's just head on over to the tutorials. You just head right and down. You just swipe in the direction you want to go. And let's head over to Robot Anatomy. So uh, let's see what we got to learn. So before, welcome traveler. Before you venture into Robotropolis, we suggest that you take a brief tour. We'll show you how to use robots to help you escape the sewer level 1 of Robotopolis. Press the question mark icon for special keys. And that's the thing in the upper right here. That's the question mark. So you tap to move. You can tap anywhere you want to go to somewhere. You can swipe in a direction. Tap with two fingers like that to pick it up, and tap the picture. Ooh, that's actually old. So you don't tap the picture of the remote to turn the remote control on and off. What you do is, oh wait, so that's still right. You tap this remote over here to turn it on and off, but you tap the picture of a person to change to a cursor, and you tap a picture of the house to uh, return to the main menu. So continue to tap anywhere. So let's head on over. So tap here to go here. You can move the cursor by tapping or swiping anywhere in the level area of the screen. And then you swipe to the right to walk this way, which you obviously need to know in order to have gotten here anyway. But go to the next room. The reason I have an empty room here is because the PC version of the game has an additional thing in here that is not at all relevant to Android, and it was just substantially easier just to have it say go to the next room rather than actually wire up the rooms differently between the Android and the PC version. I tried my best not to have anything too crazy different happen between the two. So you can pick up and drop objects. To pick up an object, move on top of it and tap with two fingers at the same time anywhere inside the room. So we want to pick up the key here, so we go over there and tap with two fingers. Oh, there we did. We picked it up. And we move over here. You tap with two fingers again to drop it off. This is the best icon I could find to actually simulate tapping with two fingers. Um, I added the little red dots and the creases for the fingers, but pick up the key and move it around to drop it two finger press again, just like we did, and then take the key with you. So let's go on. You can move very precisely. Press and hold the magnifying glass icon in the toolbar to the right. This shows a zoomed view of the player, just like that. Slide your finger while holding to choose location. Then let go and the player moves to that location. This sentry is trapped. To let it out, hold the key by the handle. Use the magnifying glass to put the key in the lock. If you touch and drag three fingers at the same time, it activates the magnifying glass without needing to press the icon. So that's actually how I normally do it. Just tap down three fingers and you're good to go. So it's I have to look at the code as to why keys are so freaking precise. It's like pixel perfect to get the keys just right. This is just ridiculous. There we go. So we let the guy escape. Later you will need to build circuits. To do this, you need to change to the soldering iron. To do this, tap on the icon that looks like a person, and then tap it again to switch back. Tapping the suitcase icon will get you the toolkit like this. I also didn't mention in here, apparently, that tapping with four fingers will switch you back and forth and bring up the magnifying glass at the same time. So if you're this, you go that, and you bring the magnifying glass. Woo. And as I mentioned in the previous video I did, that was actually a bug. I had this implemented with three fingers, then I went ahead and implemented four fingers to switch back and forth, and it turned out it brought up the magnifying glass at the same time as switching. But I decided I liked that behavior, so I decided to keep it. So I just didn't even modify it. So I don't know whether or not we need the key along. We probably don't, so I'd just bring it along anyway. This robot will help you escape from the sewer. Its name is Scanner. Go inside it by moving on top of it and then unpinching to zoom in. To come back out, use pinch to zoom out. Then come back out and carry the scanner with you. So, as these two icons in the left and right are once again, the best icons I could figure out how to make to show pinch to zoom. Most people probably know what pinch to zoom is, so just go in there and pinch to zoom, and then or unpinched to go in, and pinch to go out. So it's just you're zooming in and out. All right, so let's grab it and go with it. You can be inside a robot and still see outside, so you have to drop the robot in order to go into it. Go inside scanner, sit on the robot's eye to use this periscope, move off the eye to see inside the robot again, come outside when you are done. Take scanner with you. So we go inside, head on over to the eye. Oh, there we go. We can see everything happening outside. And we just tap somewhere and we'll move away from there. And then pinch leave, grab it, take it with us. Okay, robots make handy carrying bags for objects. Put the magnet inside scanner. For now, leave scanner here. So let's go over here. We grab the magnet, go inside, drop there, and zoom back out. And it says leave it here, so we will leave it here. Robots can move only if the remote control the antenna above you is on. Press the remote control icon to turn it on and off. I thought about adding like 5 fingers to turn the remote on and off, and I still might do that because it is pretty common to want to turn it on and off, I guess. But I personally only have 5 fingers on one hand, and although theoretically, many screens probably can sense, many more, maybe even all 10 fingers when you're trying to tap on stuff. But it gets, this is kind of a big phone. It's I don't remember what it is, 5.5 inch or something, but it's still a little cramped to be trying to fit all 5 fingers on the screen. You can't really see anything when you have them on there. So I decided for now to just stick with 4 as the max, and I try to make anything above 2 fingers optional. So you need to be able to use 2 fingers, but 3 and 4 are just conveniences, which I use all the time. But you can use the icons on the right side instead. Anyway, robots can move only if remote control is on. So see, as you can turn the remote on, turn it off, turn it on, you can see it moving. So it says take Sparky with you. So let's take Sparky with us. Go inside Sparky to see the wires and other parts that make it move. In the Robotropolis sewer, you won't need to change any wires. Just look at how each robot moves and choose the right one for the job. Take Sparky with you. So what they mean is that in the sewer is the first level. There are 5 main levels, and there's actually a 6th level, which I have never seen yet. So I haven't actually figured out how to get there yet. The original author made that secret, but there are 5 basic levels that were part of the original Robot Odyssey game, and but the first one is the sewer, and you don't actually need to do any wiring at all. So even if you don't learn how to do any wiring, it is not necessary. So in order to do it, but let's go inside here. You can see, as they mentioned here, these cone-like things are the thrusters. Those are the things that actually move the robot. So if you push on the right thruster, if the right thruster is activated like it is here, the robot goes left. So it shoots stuff out of the right side, and then it moves the robot left. Whereas this thing down here is the this is not the switch that it's pointing to, but these curved things. Those are the edge sensors, so that it detects when the robot runs into stuff. So this is the thing that detects whether you run into the right side. This is the thruster switch, which you enable and disable to allow the robot to move. And bumpers. That's what they're called. These are bumpers. And then this thing up here is the grabber. So that look like the reverse C shape. That thing is the thing that indicates or that controls whether or not the grabber has picked up something or whether it will pick up something. If it's activated, it'll pick something up if it runs into it. All right, so let's move on. The 4 white lines outside the robot are its bumpers. They detect the walls that the robots bump into. Inside the robot, the bumpers are crescent shaped with arrows. Go inside the robot to see. So as I said, these the 2 vertical lines on the right and the left, and the 2 horizontal white lines on the top and bottom, those are the bumpers. So you can, for example, see here, if we move over here, we have to have it enabled. Let's pick that up first. So if the remote's on at the same time, you can see that the left one turned orange. That turned orange because it ran into the edge. Whereas this one, it's orange on the top now because we ran into the top wall. So those are the bumpers. Robots are moved by 4 thrusters. Inside the robot, the thrusters look like triangles. The electricity flows through wires to make the robot move. The remote control stops and starts all the robots at once. If you want the thrusters in only one robot off, use the thruster switch inside. So as I mentioned, this thing down here, if you go over the top of it and use 2 fingers, that will enable, or now it's enabled, so it'll move. But when it's orange, it's enabled. When it's white, it's not. So you can enable and disable just this one. So all the robots that you have, no matter where they are in the level, when you enable this, they will start moving. So you can have a robot here and a robot in the room to the right, or way back in the beginning, whatever. And so they all work together. And that sometimes is necessary to do, where you have robots in different parts doing things at the same time. Only for the more complicated stuff later on. The remote control starts and stops all robots at once. If you want the thrusters in only one robot off, use the thruster switch inside. I guess I already read that. To turn the switch on and off, sit on it and tap with 2 fingers. When it is closed orange, the thrusters can work. When it is open white, the robot won't move even if the remote control is on. So I basically went through all that. Get scanner from the room above and experiment with the remote control and thruster switches. The remote control turns all the robots on or off. The thruster switch controls the thrusters on only one robot. So so when you can enable and disable the thruster switches in any one or multiple robots at the same time. You'll have 3 main robots that you move around with. So let's go and grab scanner. And it wanted us to experiment, so you turn it on and you can see just this one robot's moving. But we go in here, let's go over there and enable. Actually, oh yeah, it'll do it something. So now if we turn it on, now they're both moved. Stop it before it goes into the next room. Put scanner inside of Sparky, so that's, I'll be honest, that pick up and drop sound, the sounds in this game are not what I personally would consider ideal, but they are apparently close to what they originally were in the original game. So I have left them so far because I have don't really have sources of good sounds, but I decided to just leave them for now. So carry both robots with us. Some places in Robotropolis are guarded by sentries like the one in the next room. Try to get past it. In the sewer, you can ride inside a robot to sneak past a sentry. Take Sparky with you to see how. So I guess we go here, and oh no, the sentry won't let us past. So if you try to go past the sentry here, it says no way. So now you want to go inside Sparky. Let's actually disable the thruster in here because we don't want it moving. So we go over here and we look at the eye. Now, first we be sure the remote is off, then go inside Sparky, turn the thruster switch on, sit on the eye, which we just did. While you sit on the eye, press the remote control icon to turn the remote control on. Off you go. Press the remote control icon again to stop. Oh no, I have it set up to go right. Oh, well, hey, now it's going left. Guess that's why that little wall was there. So if we were to leave the robot right now, that robot would grab us. And incidentally, that is a key thing to know. This game has a million ways in which the game can become unwinnable. There's all kinds of ways where if you wire up the circuit wrong and then you release the robot to go do its thing, and then if you did something incorrect with the way you wired, it will end up being stranded and there's no way to get it. So always save all the time and save multiple times so that if you get into I mean, so far I haven't noticed any situation where it's obvious that it's not obvious that you're stuck, but you actually are stuck. So far, you'll immediately know that you're stuck because the robot that you just released is now stuck behind a thing that you can't reach, or you're here and you need the key, but you have no key because you just forgot to bring it with, even though there was a label in the previous room that said make sure you bring the key with. Because you're allowed to transport from level 1 to 2 without bringing the key with you, but you need that key. So that's why I put the description in there that says bring the key. Anyway, so let's tap here to leave the eye, get out of the robot. Each robot is equipped with a claw-shaped grabber. Sparky is pre-wired to grab an object its body touches, not just its grabber. So that means that if an object touches Sparky here anywhere, not just the grabber part in the bottom right, but if it touches the upper right or whatever, it will be counted as its grab. So despite the fact that the grabber is only sitting in the bottom right, it will actually grab it no matter what. So let's now it will do that, and if we just let go, see, it picked it up. So even though the grabber was actually in the bottom right, it actually grabbed it, and now it's holding in the upper left. I don't actually remember the rules about if it always holds stuff in the upper left or not. I don't know whether it holds it in the other corners as well. But regardless, wherever it holds it, it's got it, and it didn't matter that the grabber happened to be on the bottom right before. Anyway, to pick up the triangle, turn the remote control on, then bump Sparky into it. You could have done this. I think you could have done it while holding on to Sparky. You just did it because usually you won't be walking around and using Sparky, because if you wanted to pick it up, you could have just picked it up yourself. But we're just illustrating how the grabber works here. So robots get energy from batteries. Did it actually require that we keep it with us? He didn't actually say we needed to bring them with him, so maybe we don't need to. We probably just leave it here. Robots get energy from batteries. Look at the battery and empty energy level inside of checkers. This one over here is checkers. So batteries drain quickly in Robotropolis, so turn off thruster switches and remote control to conserve energy whenever possible. So this is checkers. If we go inside checkers, we see that it over here, you can see its energy level is 0. That black line there should be not black. So if you go over here into you'll see the orange. It's orange for mostly, so we only use a little bit of energy from the thrusters. So that's one way you can get into an unwinnable state, is if you have reached a part where you haven't found a refill station yet. You may be stuck if you run out of if your robot empties out. So save in a certain part, and if you end up moving around a lot and find that all your robots are out of juice, probably should restore and from where you were. Anyway, so turn off the thruster switches and remote control to conserve energy whenever possible. So we want to take checkers with us. We'll just leave Sparky there. A dead battery can be recharged with an energy crystal like this one. Take the crystal inside checkers, hold it over the black crystal shape and of the battery on the battery. The crystal's energy drains into the battery to recharge it. The energy level fills to the top. So go in here, see there, boom, see? Now the energy crystal there is empty and the battery is full. And generally most stuff or quite a few things are like one puzzle only, whereas other stuff is used a bunch of times. So just take everything with you. All right, so let's head on over to the next one. Each robot is equipped with a radio antenna. Checker's antenna beeps when it is in the room with an energy crystal. You'll see why later. Take the energy crystal outside of Checkers and drop it in this room. So let's grab the energy crystal, drop it in the room, turn the remote control on and off, and listen to the antenna. So there we go, the lovely sound of the antenna. So as soon as we enable that, so turn the remote control on and off and listen to the antenna. Put the crystal inside Checkers and take it with you. All right. Dead energy crystals can be recharged with rechargers like this one. Go get the energy crystal and pass it over the charger. Recharger. Regrettably, there is no recharger in the sewer, but you may find one in higher levels. Where's the recharger? You know what? I guess there must be a bug here because it looks like there's supposed to be a recharger here, but I don't see one. Well, let's move around in the area and see if it recharges anyway. No? Oh, well, apparently there's an invisible charger here in the bottom left. I will have to fix that. So it should not be invisible. That's not a puzzle or anything. That should be visible. All right. Well, moving on. Get the energy crystal and pass over the recharger. Regrettably, so there's no recharger in the sewer. So the sewer is the first level again, as I mentioned, and there's no recharger in that one. But and you actually kind of need one if you screw something up in that one, because there's actually an Empire bot. It's the bot that will actually suck energy from you if you run into it. You do not want to do that because it's a whole bunch of work. You have to go and recharge your robot's batteries then, which is a pain in the neck. It's easier just to avoid the bot or kill the bot. Anyway, so now you are ready for a great adventure in the sewer. Save your game often. As I mentioned, I had to add this instruction in here because previously none of the tutorials mentioned anything about saving a game often, and it's definitely true. You do need to save often and keep lots of old saves so that you can go back if you find yourself stuck, that you got yourself into a stuck position. So you won't, and I've tried to add stuff at the end of each level that will instruct you to what you need for the next level, because before it was possible to move from level to level without the stuff that you needed. It just said, do you have everything? But it didn't mention what it is that you actually needed to have, which I thought was a little unfair, because there's no way to get back from level 2 to level 1 or anything. Anyway, so conquer the sewer, then learn more about the robot wiring to prepare for higher game levels. So as it says here, this is actually all you need to know in order to play level 1. Level 1 is pretty straightforward.